Welcome everyone to episode 87 of the Tiny Cybercrime. Alright, so every individual has the right to determine how your personal health information is used and disclosed. For most healthcare purposes, your consent to treatment, however, in all circumstances, express consent must be in a written format. Digital signatures are acceptable. However, it must be also expressly consented for electronic signatures. You may expressly give your consent in writing, verbally, or through other electronic methods, such as emails, given that it has I guess you call chain of command or whatever where it's coming from, to ensure that it's you that's writing that. Every organization, especially for health organizations, should respect the privacy laws of the of the territories, and will not collect, use, or disclose your personal information without your prior express and written consent. Your consent may be expressed or implied. Again, in certain circumstances, your consent may be implied by your actions. Now, there's one that you don't need consent, and that is in emergency situations. Emergency situations, it is taken over by the doctor on the emergency, and whoever, if the the next of kin is not there, the doctor has the right and the legal obligation to make that as a implied or silent consent. The formal consent sought for organization vary, like I said, and it needs to adhere to the government's protocols regarding sensitive healthcare personal data. In accordance with relevant privacy laws, the governments and other regulated legal entities base their data protection regulations on three classes of data: highly sensitive, confidential, and public data. As I mentioned, public data is very, very dangerous. It is on social media, and it can be used, or it is already used, as a beneficial purposes for marketing, especially in the consumer products. In the early stages, they're the most advanced ones, like Walmart, Target, you can think of whatever. But when you consider healthcare information, they're very different information because, the ones that's getting from the consumer industry, they don't contain SIN number, they don't contain your health insurance, your health card, your passport, maybe your address, everything, right? And that's why it's sold on the highest, and it's the most attacked, with ransomware, since about 2002. So, anyways, to sum it up, there should be accountability and governance, individual rights, consent, outsourcing and cross-border transfers. Oh, this is important. Transfer of private investigator to a service provider does not require consent. Organizations must ensure that the service provider provides an equivalent level of protection to the PI. Transparency requirement for cross-border transfers is necessary, however. And last one is mandatory breach reporting, which is a broad definition of confidentiality incidents cover unauthorized use of private investigator information and private information. Thank you. Sources are from me and also from York University in Canada, law school. Okay, bye-bye.